Komiso, what's the picture like today? Of course, the market has been on a strong bull run recently. Are we seeing an extension of that today?
Good morning, Wally. Yeah, the market opened just about live about 1.5 hours ago, and so far so good. The market is slightly down, but the indication is that the bull run will continue. That is the indication, not minding the fact that there is a slight downward movement, and that downward movement is can be narrowed. I mean, it can be isolated to a particular stock, which is Nigerian breweries.
Okay.
Apart from that, market should be up, and I see that. I mean, I think that the Nigerian brewery will still come back up before the close of market.
Okay. I mean, clearly there has been a lot of focus on the banks recently, and you just mentioned Nigerian breweries. People are still expecting that company to release its own half-year numbers. But what I think I've also noted today is that First Bank, GT Bank, Zenith Bank, Sky Bank, all leading on the volumes chart. So it seems it's a story about the banks today.
Yeah, it's a story about the banks. You know, about 3-4 banks have come out with their results, and those results are very good. So based on that, we are expecting a very good result from the likes of GTB, Zenith Bank, Access Bank, and the host of others. Based on that, there are a lot of interest on the banking stock this morning. As of now, GTB has done maybe like over 8 million, about 8 million shares have traded on GTB as of now. Same thing on First Bank with over 6 million units. Sky Bank has traded over 2 million units. Zenith Bank, same. I mean, most of the banks, all the banks are doing pretty well this morning in terms of volume and prices. The prices are going up on most of the banks too. So
let's get your perspective on the strength of the move. I mean, the market is at a year high now, in fact, an 11-month high, and the question many are asking is whether or not it's going to sustain this rally this time around. Because we've seen a similar rally when the the first quarter results were released in April, and the market clearly didn't sustain that move. But what I think is very significant this time around is that we have the likes of Diamond Bank and UBA that surprised to the downside during the last earnings season, are actually surprising to the upside to some extent this time. So to what extent do you think that will have a bearing on the outcome, the final outcome of this move?
This bull run, will continue as far as the end of the results. The quarterly results. As soon as the results, are out, you should expect a period of, lull in the market. The market won't continue going all the time. People will take profit, but by and large, market might dip, but it won't dip very, very much like you have in previous years. The bull run will continue for this month because some of these banks will not come out with their results until end of the month. The likes of GTB and Access, we don't expect the results until another 1 or 2 weeks. So by then the month is almost ending, and by and large you won't see any selling of those stocks until those results are out, because of expectation of corporate action by some of them, GTB in particular. And First Bank, based on what we have in first quarter, a very good result. The indication is that it will continue to be a very good result in second quarter. So you don't expect people to sell until those things are out. It might just be then at the end of the when the results are out that okay, we've seen the result, nothing else to prepare the market until end of third quarter. So you might see market people taking profit and people just be on the sideline then. But until we see those results, you expect market to maintain this upward momentum.
Right, let's cast the spotlight on Sky Bank now. They released results yesterday, of course. There was some reaction initially, but what's the picture like for the bank right now? Because that's one bank I think many people are somewhat disappointed at its valuation. It's trading at about 3 times earnings, about a third of its book value. Clearly, it's looking pretty cheap. But then the big question is, will we see some upside momentum for the stock? What are you seeing today?
Sky Bank looks pretty cheap, on valuation basis. And if you look at price earning ratio, it's actually below 3, like you said. But in first quarter, the stock disappointed seriously in first quarter. But going, I mean, at the second quarter, the result was pretty good. The initial reaction is let's wait and see. Would this attitude, would this upward momentum, I mean, would this upward surprise continue in third quarter? That's why you did see a lot of reaction into that result.
But what about today? What's the,
today,
from the early activity?
Today you can see the volume is good so far, and the quantity on bid is also looking strong. I mean, if you compare to the one on offer, I don't see it coming down. But whether it will go out significantly, I don't know. But I see it inching up. Like yesterday, it went up like roughly 1.5%. So you can see, you should see something like that, 1% or 2% going up. Because the fact that, after first quarter, the reaction was very negative. You can see the reaction is not negative this time around. So that is, and at the same time, people are not rushing into it. That was because the first quarter, the company disappointed. So people are waiting to see, will this momentum continue? But talking to people in the banks, it's like this good result will continue for the rest of the year. And that will, at the end of the day, drive the stock very high, higher than where it is now. What I see will happen is that the stock will gradually inch up, maybe, to the level it was at the time the first quarter result came out, which was.
So we're looking at like 5 naira?
No, not anytime, not immediate. 5 naira, 3 naira to 5 naira is very significant. So right. You should first look at getting to 350, 360, where it was when the first quarter result came out, before it took the downward trend then. So, but with continuous good news, good news coming out of the company, on a regular basis, the stock should go back to 4 naira or plus. But initially, I expect it to go to like 350 and stabilize from there. Okay,
so good news is key for Skybank and, of course, for the broader market. And I think it brings us to the discussion again as to how strong this move will be and where it may settle. Right now, the market is at a year high. And we've only seen, 3 or 4 bank results. We still have like 10 more to get through. And if we don't see surprises, or at least negative surprises from those ones, then do you think it's conceivable that the market could be like up 15%? Now it's up about 8% year to date.
You know, this month alone, the market is up as high. This month we've seen like 5% or 6% gain this month. Right. So you can see with if you see the likes of GTB, First Bank, Zenith coming with very good results, the market can easily go up another 4-5%. And by then, the gain for the year will be moving close to 15%. Because, year to date now, we are around 9-10%, if I'm correct. So getting to 15% increase for the year, will not be something difficult for the market. As it is, the momentum is good, and it's upward.
Okay, all that said, let's move to your stock picks. You're a trader. Which stocks are looking exciting right now? If one wants to play the market for the short term, for the medium term, which stocks are you really aggressive about now?
For the short term, I still look at Skybank, Diamond Bank. If you look at Diamond Bank results, the price earning ratio is below 2 naira. It's below 2. There is no way the stock will not go to 3 naira. You might see initial pressure. People who bought at 2 naira taking profit. People who bought at 2 naira 10 kobo about 2 weeks ago, taking profit at 250, 240. It's nothing unusual. But after that one, you see the stock making another run. I see the stock getting close to 3 naira in the next month or so.
So we'll be watching that.
I have Diamond Bank as my pick.
Okay, short-term basis. Very interesting pick, and I think many will agree. But let's bring in the fixed income market into the discussion now. We know MPC decision is next week. Many people are expecting that there will be very little in terms of a rate change. But the question, of course, is if we see interest rates, even if they moderate at the levels they are now and they don't go much further, what impact would this have on equities? Because some are saying 16% yields on fixed income is very attractive.
Well, I don't expect any change in the interest rates. On my own, CBN will still not let, we still want to control the money supply into the system. and I see them maintaining at the same time, the inflation is not running away. So they are not going to increase the MPR. I mean, that's my own opinion. And at that means there won't be any significant effect on the market. The yield in the other market has been higher. I mean, all along throughout the year it's been high, but with continuous good performance in some stocks in the market. I mean, with good results. Don't forget that non-banks are they still have their results out there that are not coming out yet. So when you see them, if they happen to be good, the likes of Dan Sugar, Dan Cement, the likes of Nigerian breweries and co. If they come out with good results, you see the market will remain supported and maintain the support momentum for some time.
All right, Komi, thanks so much for your perspective.